What up, homies? Happy Thursday. I was wondering what that was about. Hi, Blue Star. I'm doing pretty well. Okay, so for today, we're gonna start off with I found somebody on Twitter. Somebody posted what purports to be the full pilot script for the first episode of the Powerpuff Girls Live Action reboot, the much maligned Powerpuff Girls Live Action reboot. It has officially been, I guess it's officially been 2 years since it was first teased, because this script is dated January 18th, 2021. Which, it's hard to believe that was 2 years ago, but it was. And so I thought that we could have ourselves a little bit of fun and see what exactly it has to offer. I've seen clips and like snippets and stuff, but I've never actually seen the whole script in its entirety contextualized. So let's and by the way, this show, as far as I know, is still technically in production. Like, they have not officially announced its cancellation, I don't think. Which is wild and hilarious to me. But, so, theoretically, there could be a reality in which we see this come to screen at some point. But, for now, we're just gonna read the script and, see what we got. Thank you for the sub, Brian. Thank you for having subscribed for 4 months. That's awesome. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Now, I wish I had some kind of props or something here. Hang on a second. The CW recently canceled all their shows. Well, that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if this never came to light, but who knows? Okay, let's see here. Where are all my stuffies? I used to have a bunch of them. I'm going to take some of my fiance stuff. All right. We're going to make do with a couple of props. I mean, we've already had the Velma disaster. When will they learn? Stop making these. Okay, here we go. Alright, so the Powerpuff Girls pilot, written by Diablo Cody and Heather Rainier. The second network revision. We have not talked about Velma in any depth on here, because I haven't actually watched it. Well, I tried to watch the first episode, and I literally could not stand it. I couldn't make it past the first 5 minutes. So this is the second revision. Alright. Exterior. Big blue endless sky. Day. Excuse me. The super superscript says 2003. over a blue sky filled with cotton candy clouds. Narrator. Once upon a time, in the early 2000s, there were 3 extraordinary sisters who were destined to save the world. I agree. Velma's not bad in a compelling way, it's just bad. It's just hard to watch. Blossom Utonium. Bum, 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 shoo. Blossom can fly and effortlessly, even though Blossom can fly and effortlessly, even in the impractical pink dress she wears. What? Okay. Come on, guys, he's getting away. Blossom was the leader, the go-getter, the goody-goody. Buttercup Utonium. Dun, 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 dun. I know, like, why shit on her dress? Like, what the fuck? Because we all know that people who reboot these series actually hate the franchises that they come from. Dun, 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 dun. Buttercup Utonium flies up next to her sister. She's a scrappy, scowling tomboy wearing a green dress. Buttercup in a mocking high voice. Come on, guys, he's getting away. Please, we always catch them. Buttercup was the tough one, the hard ass, if you'll pardon the idiom. Buttercup zooms off, a green blur. Bubbles Utonium in a blue dress, pigtails, and adorable smile rises up beside Blossom. So, okay, Buttercup went, you. I spy a camera crew. We're gonna be on TV tonight. Woo! Let's focus on finishing the job and protecting our city. Well, don't forget to smile. Daddy says our image is as important as our efficiency. She grins, touching her dimples with her index fingers. And Bubbles was the sweet, upbeat, cheerful one. Most of the time. Title: Powerpuff Girls. The 3 girls dip down together, driving towards a marauding, 3-headed Pegasus monster, big as a building, wreaking havoc on the city. We only see it briefly, don't worry. Why would I be worried? Time to kick some beast. What? She burst ahead of them, hooking swiftly around a welcome billboard that reads, "The City of Townsville, home of the Powerpuff Girls." It bears cartoon likenesses of the girls. Be gone, butt! There we go. Yeah, don't worry. I don't know what that means. Time to kick some beast. All right, City Townsville, home of the Powerpuff Girls. It bears cartoon likenesses of the girls. A triptych of brief action shots. Buttercup punching the beast. Bubbles stunning it with her ice breath. Whoosh, and Blossom tying it up. Townsville cheers them on, and the girls take a bow. These exceptional girls were not born, but created by the brilliant Professor Drake Utonium. Is his first name Drake? Is that canon, or did they just make that up? Interior, Professor Utonium's lab, day. Superscript 1996, 7 years earlier. Drake Utonium, a debonair scientist in his 30s, toils in his lab equipment, played by Jon Snow. Toils in his lab equipment. Surrounded by mysterious equipment and colorful compounds. There's an explosion of light, red, blue, and green, as a new life blooms from a pipette. He'd long dreamed of being a father, but his grandiosity prevented him from pursuing his goal in the usual manner. Drake didn't just want children. He wanted... Drake lifts the tinted lab goggles off of his face, astonished. Phenomena! Above him, the magic fogged air, we see silhouettes of the hovering, newly made Powerpuff Girls. Drake turns on his gawky, cowering lab partner, Dr. Joseph Mojo Mondel. Mojo claps, although he looks a bit uncertain. Congratulations, you did it. I couldn't have done it without you, Mojo. The girls, okay, interior, Professor Utonium's house, kitchen, evening. The girls, the professor, and the professor's girlfriend, Sarah Bellum, 30s redhead with kind eyes, enjoy a cozy, laughter-filled dinner. I'm not ready for the Gen Xer writing millennial dialogue. Hang on, I've got the perfect Miss Bellum. Oh, it comes from the anime thing. Interesting. Buxom Miss Bellum. Okay. They're having a cozy, laughter-filled dinner. For years, all was well in the Utonium household. The sisters were the best of friends. Drake was a proud papa. His girlfriend Sarah had become like part of the family. Off this warm scene, we cut to exterior, First Bank of Townsville, dusk. Yes, Bellum is his girlfriend now. A crowd cheering as the girls defend on a villain, Fuzzy Lumpkins, and snatch bags of cash from his clutches. The girls were beloved heroes in Townsville, a city mysteriously besieged by villainous creatures and crooks. Where the police had failed, the Powerpuffs were triumphant. Everyone looks on as the Powerpuff Girls begin performing an adorable synchronized dance routine in midair. Drake turns to the news camera, filming the spectacle, pumping his fist. Girl power! Oh, Jesus. Interior, Joseph Mojo Mondel's home. Same. Revealing Mojo watching the spectacle on television in his dim, depressing den. He glares, sick with envy. Dr. Joseph Mojo Mondel was not so delighted when the Powerpuff Girls he resented with the Powerpuff Girls. He resented their celebrity, especially since he had helped Drake discover Chemical X, and the mutagenetic substance gave the girls their powers. But Drake, wrapped up in the limelight, seems to have forgotten about their decade-long partnership. He turns off the TV and walks to the window. He had hoped to use the chemical to gain powers for himself, powers he'd use for good. But what use would it be now? Mojo wasn't cute. He didn't have sugar, spice, or anything nice. He was just a plain old boring man. And Mojo, so Mojo's a man in this? Yo, I'm imagining fucking Drake. As Mojo gazes out the window, we see 3 glittery streaks of color appear in the sky, red, green, and blue. It's the girls. We swear we even hear a giggle. A boy runs up from behind, nose against the glass. This is Mojo Jojo's son, Jojo. What? He has a son? Fuck, hang on. The snow globe will be his son for now. Dad, were those the Powerpuff Girls? I wish I could fly. They're all so cool, especially Blossom. Off Mojo's stewing. Mojo and his son, Jojo. I'll be right back. I gotta get my chicken nuggets. Okay. Hello, Ecto. Okay. Okay, interior Professor Utonium's house, den, day. The girls and Drake watch the live news broadcast. Mojo stands at a podium at a televised rally. The Chiron says, concerned scientist holds anti-Powerpuff rally. Mojo. I worked with the professor for years. Believe me when I tell you, he's power hungry and duplicitous. He stole Chemical X from me. I know the Powerpuff Girls are protecting us from the monsters, but who will protect us from the Powerpuff Girls? No, Drake is Professor Utonium. But we never... He's a sad, bitter man. Don't worry, you're more popular than ever. Drake was right. The girls had... Why do they keep calling him Drake instead of just the professor? He was always known as the professor in the show. The girls had a national fan club, licensed merch, and even their own cartoon. But Mojo wasn't their only enemy. They were about to face an evil far more formidable. A force that's defeated innumerable gifted children. Puberty. Oh, Jesus Christ. I feel like shows always make puberty seem much more interesting than it actually was. Alright. Interior, Professor Utonium's house, early morning. It's 2013. A siren blares. Buttercup, Bubbles, and Blossom shuffle out the front door, suited for combat in their iconic dresses. They look sullen and reluctant. Bubbles, with sunglasses on, hung over. Are we supposed... Which one's Bubbles? I think this one's Bubbles. Are we fighting Swampy again? Who has the brief? Drake pops out of the house, followed by Sarah. Yeet, yeet. Bubbles, wait, where are your pigtails? You have to stick to the character Bible. She's not a character, Drake. I know that, which is why I've allowed her to select 2 outside friends and unlimited after homeschool activities. Buttercup, I don't appreciate the look on your face right now. Can you blame her? She's 17 and she's up at the butt crack of dawn to fight a talking swamp. Sarah, as always, I appreciate your concern for my family, but you're not part of it. Hey, yo, what the fuck? Yo, I wish a nigga would say that to me after I've been dating him for like 10 years. What? Yes, Miss Bell. Let me finish this nugget. Yeah, Utonium is like a fucking dance mom. He's awful. Because loving dad, of course, would be too wholesome for a reboot. Before the girls can begin to defend Sarah, Blossom pipes up. I know, like, she's literally been there since they were, like, in kindergarten. Like, what the fuck? Okay, then Blossom pipes up. Guys, we have to go. Townsville needs us. Blossom takes off into the sky. The other girls follow suit. Pew! Pew! Sarah stares at Drake, hurt, then walks away. Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup battle Swampy. It's way more... let's see. Okay. Exterior, City of Townsville Day. Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup battle Swampy. It's way more effortful? Effortful? Is that a word? Than it should be. When suddenly a laser beam grazes Swampy and almost hits Blossom. Reveal. A giant robot being operated by Mojo. A lab monkey by his side. Mojo's voice bellows from a megaphone. Stop the Powerpuff Girls! Excuse me. In Mojo's lab, a now teenage Jojo co-pilots his father via a control panel monitor. He's holding a Blossom action figure. Dad, easy on Blossom, remember? I got this, Jojo. Back on. The girls trying to subdue Swampy. A few anti-Powerpuff protesters gather below. One throws a Slurpee. Buttercup goes red hot and flies up to the jackass. I will honestly end you. People cower in fear as Mojo blasts at Blossom again. Guys, a little help? We're working on it. Mojo blasts another laser at Swampy. Yeah, okay, so Mojo is, Mojo was a man now, he's not a monkey. And then he's got a son named Jojo. Don't ask. Okay. Mojo blasts another laser at Swampy, hitting him in the arm. And the building behind him, concrete debris rains down. Blossom catches the falling pieces in both arms, looks to her sisters for help, but a hungover Bubbles can barely handle Swampy, and Buttercup's fighting with protesters. Desperate, Blossom kicks a third piece of debris out of the air, but it ricochets off a lamppost, exploding into fragments. Mojo's robot is riddled with shrapnel and falls to the ground. Jojo is speechless. His eyes water. Dad? Above the robot, Blossom sees blood on the inside panel. What the fuck? Blossom and Buttercup join her. Blossom begins to hyperventilate, having a full-blown panic attack. I guess he's dead. What the fuck? Interior newsroom day. A newscaster sits beside the news banner. A Townsville divided. Well, in the wake of Mojo's death, a fringe group of anti-Powerpuff Girl activists have gained massive popularity in Townsville. Their goal? To banish the Powerpuff Girls. The news cuts to footage of the mayor. The news cuts to footage of the mayor holding a press conference, surrounded by angry protesters. Due to the public safety concerns, the Powerpuff Girls have been outlawed from fighting in Townsville. This is just the plot of Civil War, isn't it? This is just like when Scarlet Witch blew up that building and then they were like, oh, actually the Avengers are illegal now. It's also like the plot of The Incredibles. Like, every superhero franchise has to have, like, the superheroes are too dangerous, blah, blah. They have been outlawed from fighting in Townsville. The protesters cheer wildly as Interior, Professor Utonium South's TV room day. Bubbles and Buttercup watch TV under a blanket together. I better check on Blossom. Interior, Professor Utonium South's Blossom's room day. Buttercup enters Blossom's room. Bloss? The bed is empty and made. Empty drawers are open. Exterior, gray sky. Exterior, gray sky day. We see a tear-stained Blossom flying as fast as she can through the overcast sky, a suitcase strapped to her back. Exterior, Professor Utonium's house. Same. Now furious, Buttercup bursts angrily out the front door and immediately is sworn by news cameras. Bleep you all and bleep Townsville! Does she actually say bleep? The Powerpuff Girls are done! I know someone say bloss. Bleep you all and bleep Townsville. Okay. What the fuck? End of teaser. That was the teaser? That wasn't even the first act? Oh my god. Oh, we got a ways to go, folks. Okay. Exterior, house, day. Smoke billows from the first floor of a house. After Blossom ran away to build a new life for herself, Buttercup and Bubbles followed suit. On the second floor, a window opens. Adult Buttercup, wearing fighter gear, leaps out of the window with a little boy in her arms. They fly down 20 feet and land gently. So, did they face any, like, criminal charges? Or is it just like, yeah, well, they killed that guy, so you're not allowed to be superheroes anymore? Like, well, there's no, like, fallout for them literally killing a guy other than just, like, being put in timeout. Like, now they just have different jobs. Okay. Adult Buttercup, wearing a firefighter gear, leaps out of the window with a little boy in her arms. They fly down 20 feet and land gently. Enraged by the ignoble end of the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, being a firefighter while using superpowers, it's like... Oh, you want me to read it deadpan? Okay. I will for the next page. Okay. All right. Enraged by the ignoble end of the Powerpuff Girls, Buttercup sought anonymity. She moved through the small town in Oregon. She shortened her name to B and joined the fire department. I guess I can't comment on how stupid that sounds. So I thought you guys used ladders. If anyone asked, I did. Okay. Exterior, Hollywood Boulevard, night. See you on the license plate, close up on the license plate. Bubbles with the Z1, affixed to a baby blue Corvette. Adult Bubbles, still wearing her signature pigtails, pops the trunk. It's full of Powerpuff Girls merch and a price list. Selfies, $20. T-shirts, $30. Selfie plus shirt, $45. Bubbles went to Hollywood, hoping to capitalize on what fame she had left. After 2 stints in rehab and 3 failed reality show pilots, she had pivoted to direct sales. Bubbles announces herself to a pack of passing tourists. I'm Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, the real Bubbles, unlike that Bo knockoff Wonder Woman. Fake Wonder Woman, who looks really fake, turns and sticks her tongue out at Bubbles. Hey, what? I have a little Wonder Woman. Turns and sticks her tongue out at Bubbles as the tourists flock to her. I don't know. Interior, college lecture hall, day. Blossom sits at the lecture hall taking notes. As for Blossom, she attended the elite women's college in the Northeast, collecting degrees to cocoon herself from the harsh sting of the real world. It was effective. Blossom notices a Powerpuff Girls tattoo on the bicep of one of her classmates. Most of the time. 2021. Interior, Blossom's apartment, morning. Blossom joins her adorable boyfriend Clive for breakfast. Clive wears a birthday hat, and Blossom enters the kitchen and slips a happy birthday tiara on her head and grins. After a decade of school, Blossom got a job in the Boston area biotech firm where she met her boyfriend Clive. This morning, they're celebrating her 25th birthday, which is technically tomorrow. But tomorrow, Blossom has some out-of-state business to attend to. Ding! There's a lot of narration in this, by the way. Like, there's a lot of narration in this. Like, I don't like watching this, like, it would be such a drag because there's so much expositional narration. Like, most of these are not stage directions, they are just narration that is supposed to be in the show. Oh, Duff Cameron. Oh my god. Okay. Ding! A reminder text from Spirit Airlines pops up on Blossom's phone. It's time to check in for your flight to Townsville, departing tomorrow at 8 a.m. She shudders. I don't want to go to Townsville. Clive rubs her shoulder warmly as he pours her coffee. After this weekend, you never have to again. Once you sign that document and collect your trust fund, you're free. Besides, you've been so excited to see your sisters. They probably still hate me. They talk all the time. Buttercup even went to see Bubbles' one-woman show, Bubbles with a Chance of Bubbles. I've been a total ghost. Jesus Christ. Babe, you have had a messed up childhood that culminated in a traumatic event. It's like your therapist says, you need to go out and make your own way in the world for the sake of your mental health. I hope I don't have a panic attack while I'm there. That's what Xanax is for. That and recreational use by guys with cool face tats. And if you do freak out, you just do that exercise Dr. Pat taught you. Right. Visualize my inner child. She gazes into the middle distance where her childhood self magically appears, waving to her reassuringly. Thanks for being amazing, Clive. I love you. She gazes in. I mean, you know you're telling a bad story when you have to have this much exposition in the voiceover. Like, people should be able to say things in the dialogue that help you understand what's happening in the story. You should be able to just, like, tell us what year it is, we can figure out that she aged, and then have them have a conversation that naturally exposits some things about her life without the voiceover literally saying it. Like, couldn't they just say, honey, you're gonna be late for your flight to the college where you have a speech. Yeah, I'm getting my speech ready now, or something like that. Like, you don't have to have the narrator say all of this. Okay. Thanks for being amazing, Clive. I love you. Ding, another text, this time from Bubbles to both Buttercup and Blossom. It says, Happy birthday, Eve, my BBs. See you tomorrow. Blossom, soothed by her conversation with Clive, grins and texts back, Can't wait to see you guys. Seriously. After a beat, Buttercup text, Me 3. It's gonna be super fun. Clive is either evil or he dies. I think that's probably a fair guess. Exterior, government building to establish. Day, Jojo, pre-lap. Damn it, straight to hell, Gina! Dude, this is Jojo. Damn it, straight to hell, Gina! Jesus Christ. Who talks like this? It's not the 50s. Jojo, who is now also in his 20s, sits in a well-appointed office. A plaque at his desk reads, Jojo Model, Mayor of Townsville. He reads through the report of one of his in front of his secretary, Gina, 50. What? He has a pet monkey sitting on his desk. This is just initial polling data. You've got time to pull ahead. Unlike other prodigal Powerpuffs, Mojo's son Jojo stayed in the, unlike our prodigal Powerpuffs. What does prodigal mean? It doesn't mean what people think it means, I don't think. Hang on a second. I feel like I looked this up because of the prodigal son. Yeah, prodigal means spending money or resources freely and recklessly, wastefully extravagant. Having given something on a lavish scale. And people use prodigal to mean like run away because of the prodigal son. Because of the parable in the Bible about the prodigal son. But the prodigal doesn't mean a runaway. It means like financially reckless. Like, now it has gotten kind of an informal meaning as a person who leaves home and behaves in a reckless way, but later makes a repentant return. But I've seen a lot of people use prodigal as like shorthand for runaway. But that's like, it's just interesting how language evolves, because that's not what that word originally meant. Prodigal son just meant he spent a lot of money. Yeah, exactly. Most people only know it from church, which is why it took on that meaning, even though it's not really what it means. Like, people assume that because the person ran away in the story that it's about a runaway, but it's about being wasteful. Anyway, unlike our prodigal Powerpuffs, Mojo's son Jojo stayed in Townsville. Indeed, his loyalty and dedication to the city had carried him all the way to public office. He was the youngest person ever elected as mayor of Townsville. Unfortunately for him, the second term looks unlikely. I've delivered on everything I promised, except free gelato Fridays, and that's only because the perfect scoop turned out to be a front for meth trafficking. Every attempt at a joke in this script is agonizing. I miss their pistachio. Alessia Lawrence has no experience. She's impulsive and reactionary. She's exciting. You mean she's not a white man? Oh my god, this dialogue! I think the moral of the parable is, like, God will love you even if you, like, fuck up your life or whatever. He's happy when you come back to him. I think that was supposed to be the moral. This dialogue is so awful. No. You know, you hear about reverse discrimination, but until it happens to you, no offense, you totally earned your position. Optics don't hurt, though. Jesus, this dialogue is awful. Oh my god. Like, what the fuck? No one talks like this. Seriously, this is just like those morality plays we watch where, like, people talk in this cartoonish way that nobody actually talks like. Or, like, racists are like, you know how whites are pretty and blacks are slaves. Like, no one actually talks like that. What up, you dirty slave? Clean the floor. Oh my god. Oh, there's one thing people love more than virtue signaling, Gina. Frozen desserts of Italian origin? No, security, safety, and I can provide that. Jojo feeds his monkey a tree. With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, Townsville is a candy-colored bubble of privilege and comfort. Ever since the creature attack stopped, we're one of America's safest cities. I don't think people are voting from a place of fear. What about my pet monkey? That was meaningful in my last election. Post-Harambe. Nobody cares anymore. There's a fucking Harambe reference. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. God damn. You know some fucking 35, 40-year-old wrote this awful fucking script. And they were like, hey, yo, what do the kids like these days? Harambe? I need to read through all of this. Go ahead and knock off for lunch. One more thing. The Powerpuff Girls are coming to town tomorrow. The color drains from Mojo's face. He's shaken. Tomorrow. All three? Just for the weekend. The Gazette called asking for a comment. Tell Frank I said no comment. That'll be all. Yeah, it adds to the vibe. Do you think the monkey is just a callback to him being a monkey, or is he going to mutate and merge with it? I think he's going to probably mutate or something. I think it's going to become a thing. Gina nods and exits. Jojo mulls all of this over. His monkey screeches. It gives Jojo an idea. He picks up his cell, pulls up a contact, short stack, hesitates for a moment, then dials. I need you. Exterior. Townsville. Townsville Airport, curve, Uber pickup day. Bubbles exits with her duffel. We see Bubbles exits with her duffel. We see Bubbles with her suite of luggage in line for an Uber. Well, it'll probably be some, like, poorly edited, like, they'll go into, like, a building, and then, like, light will shoot out, and then it'll come out and be, like, some awful, like, fucking Party City costume. Buttercup exits with her duffel. We see Bubbles with her suite of luggage in line for an Uber. She's accompanied by a middle-aged guy with a camera. She spots Buttercup heading over. Here she comes. Start filming. Buttercup! Happy birthday, bitch! They hug happily until Buttercup notices the cameraman. What's with Al Maisels over here? Doesn't he work for Bravo? No, I'm making a tasteful doc about my comeback slash solo career, which starts with the capturing of our reunion, which is kind of a big D. Regarding the cameraman. Oh, and this is my manager, Ace. Oh, it's Ace from the fucking, the Ace, the guy. Yeah, the one. He was in the Gorillas for a while. You know what I'm talking about. Ace. It's Ace. Some people do, but that's pretty clunky the way she did it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This is my manager, Ace. Hey. When you say reunion, to be clear, you mean like our personal reunion. Because you're not interested in a reteam or a reboot of the Powerpuff Girls. I know. Even though America would go ripshit bonkers for it. Who says that? Yes, the Gorillas collab was fascinating. They would. Buttercup affectionately strokes one of Bubbles' pigtails. You haven't changed at all. Bubbles winking. Gotta stick to the character Bible. Oh my god. They smirk, but the looks that they exchange are poignant. Where's the professor in all of this? I'm very curious. Interior car day. Bubbles and Buttercup and Ace ride in the back of an Uber. They pass the old Welcome to Townsville billboard, which now says Jojo Mondle, mayor, with a smiling picture of Jojo. So Mojo's son is the mayor now. Remember that huge crush he had on Blossom? Weird kid. Hey, you know... Hopefully dead. Let's see. Remember what a huge crush he had on Blossom? Weird kid. Hey, you know who we should see while we're here? Sarah! She was always so great to us. Dad blew that one. Has he been dating lately, do you know? Okay, so good, she broke up with him. Missy is now a fucking a washed up model. Expository dialogue. Alright. Just rando hookups. You know, science groupies, beaker bunnies, nearsighted hoes mainly. Science groupies, beaker bunnies, nearsighted hoes. Oh my god. Oh boy. Got it. The car turns into their childhood street. I can't believe Blossom is coming. Probably only because Dad made it mandatory for us to access the trust. What are you going to do with the money? Buy a little cabin, rescue a few snoodles or doodles? I'm not a total cliche. Then, I'm going to have chickens too. Suddenly they look out the window, alarmed. I beg your misogynistic partner. I'm so over the toxic masculinity in this room right now. Suddenly they look out the window, alarmed. What the... fuzzy lumpkins? We see a mob of people gathered near the Powerpuff Girls childhood house. Some are press, and they carry signs that say things like no violence in Townsville. A scant few are fans. Dad alerted the press. God, he sucks. The sisters get out of the car. The small crowd surrounds them, yelling questions. Are you here to start trouble? Etc. Is this a welcome wagon or a go home wagon? Who cares? We're trending locally. Oh, God. Are the Powerpuff Girls re-teaming? Hell no. I'm not capping for Townsville ever again. I'm here to collect the debt, then I'm out. Throttle down, boo. Your Kim X is showing. Who's this? God damn. I hate this so much. Also, isn't Buttercup supposed to be black? That makes it worse. Throttle down, boo. Your Kim X is showing. I want to scream. Yeah, no. And what do you want to bet this dialogue was written by a white person? Oh my god. They're like, and this is where the black woman goes, I know you didn't. Mm-mm-mm. Oh my god. Okay, revealing a cute little girl standing by the front door, Henrietta. Hello, I'm Henrietta. I'm a huge fan. Blossom is my favorite, but all of you are feminist icons. Thank you, cutie. Can I have a hug? Bubbles leans down to hug Henrietta. Buttercup notices a large furry caterpillar on Henrietta's shoulder, arching up towards Bubbles' ear. She instinctively swats the caterpillar into the bushes. Henrietta bursts into tears in a full panic. That was my pet Gloria! Bubbles begins to mumble an apology as, Daddy! The camera shutters click, and Drake opens the front door. It says, I was running through the 6th with my woes. Okay. He opens the door to greet his daughters. Bubbles hugs him. Ace films. Girls! Buttercup strides past Drake into the house. As Drake shuts the door behind Buttercup and Bubbles, Dad, why did you call the press? Blossom's gonna freak out, and the last thing we need is another crack in the bell jar. Blossom's been doing fine. She's emotionally fragile. Coming back here is probably triggering for her. Oh, God. They put triggering in quotation marks. Y'all, I hate it. This is so bad. Triggering. Okay. Why? Because she's the one who killed Mojo? I mean, moveon.org. This dialogue. Oh my god. Me when I'm in a writing terrible dialogue competition with these people. I mean, moveon.org. Off camera, we hear a chair squeak. It's Blossom sitting at the kitchen table. Awkward. Ace turns to Drake, extends his hand. Hi, I'm Ace. Virgo management? Drake shakes his hand as Blossom rises to greet her sisters. Blossom fondly, come here. Buttercup and Bubbles come in for a long, strong group hug. Drake watches them, pleased, and then turns to Ace, who has temporarily lowered his camera to observe the reunion. You getting this? Oh, God. Interior, Powerpuff Girls home, kitchen table later. The sisters sit in a row on one side of the modern dining table. Drake sits on the other. A gourmet dinner sits before them. The room is full of birthday balloons. Ace films. I can't believe you girls are 25. Wow. The 3 Bs back in Townsville. It'll be nice to catch up, huh? Blossom is looking at the red phone displayed in the living room. It's in a glass case, unplugged, like a museum piece. She starts downing a glass of red wine. Go, 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 go. Yes, and it will be nice to collect the money we earned for the sale of our childhoods. Where do we sign up? Why do we sign? You loved being Powerpuff Girl. It's not like we were given an alternative. Bloss, would you have chosen PPG? You would have chosen PPG no matter what. You were always the first one out the door when that alarm went off. I'm sure it's deactivated now. Townsville is... T-ville... Oh my god. They keep shortening stuff. It sounds awful. T-ville is peaceful as any town, USA. And by the looks of it, as boring and homogenous too. I counted 3 Paneras. Actually, I didn't want to bring this up yet, but I have a reason to believe that darkness might be headed towards Townsville. Hobby Lobby? Dad, you don't mean, like, monsters? I'm afraid I do. Darkness. Black people are coming. Blossom starts quietly freaking out, subtly hyperventilating. She's having a panic attack. I think the city might need the Powerpuff Girls again. Off Blossom, losing consciousness. Bloss? Interior, Henrietta's lair, evening. In the apartment, we see Henrietta seated at their child-sized desk, using a glowworm as the song Glowworm plays in the background. She repairs the woolly bear caterpillar we saw Buttercup swat away earlier. It's not a caterpillar, it's a robot. Revealed there are hundreds of robot pillars crawling over the room. Henrietta cranks the volume on her record player. Neighbor off screen. Hey, turn it down! Sorry, Mr. Carruthers! Henrietta pushes one of her woolly bears through the wall vent. Interior apartment directly below at night. Mr. Carruthers, Henrietta's neighbor, 50s, watches UFC on his couch. The woolly bear emerges from his vent and traverses across the couch cushions before crawling into his ear. Mr. Carruthers shakes his head at first, then quickly settles into his new normal, as a strange yellow glint is in his eyes. Glowworm continues playing faintly as we end Act 1. All caps. Panic attack! Drink iced coffee. Panic attack. Okay, Act 2. Interior. Powerpuff Girls home. Kitchen floor. Later. Blossom's out cold. Buttercup and Bubbles hover over her. Bloss, wake up or we'll leak your nudes everywhere. Off Bubbles' confusion. Well, that worked on you once. Oh my god. What? Why? Why would you say that? Why would they say that? What the fuck? Bubbles nods, remembering, then thinks, closes her eyes. Bubbles grew up in a small town, and when the rain would fall down, I'd just stare at my window. Oh, she's singing Breakaway. Please, not Breakaway. It's working. Dreaming of what could be, and if I'd end up have to, I would pray I could break away. Okay, I'm up. Too late. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. The girls are interrupted when the Monster Mash is playing downstairs. I'd be like, is it too late to back out of that contract? Interior, Powerpuff Girls home, Drake's lab. At night, the sisters find Drake dancing in front of the PowerPoint, eating a Go-Gurt. He accidentally drips some on his shirt. Sorry, girls, I have a condition where if I see someone faint, I faint, so I had to grab some sugar. He notices the Go-Gurt stain. Now, would you look at that? Take a seat, please. I made cocoa. Bubbles happily sits. Buttercup and Blossom take a beat. Damn, I do love that cocoa. And I love family time. Drake shuts the door with the remote as the girls sit. Hey, Matt Lauer, the remote door thing is canceled. How many fucking sexual assault jokes do you think they're gonna make in like 2 pages? Like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why would you write this dialogue? Oh, God. On a PowerPoint, a graph with various squiggly lines. As you girls may or may not know, I've been monitoring supernatural evil here in Townsville ever since you left. Mostly it's a lot of dead ends and conspiracies until this morning when I saw this. Drake pulls up a picture of a missing kitten posted on Nextdoor. Blossom squints and Buttercup rolls her eyes. So cute! I want it in a frame. Sorry, wrong thread. Bear with me, types in for a moment. Ah, here we go. Drake... Of course they have to say the word canceled in a way that nobody has ever used it. Yeah, they keep using words that are just, like, not used correctly. True, Velma was over here making Me Too jokes. Okay, let's see. Here we are. He pulls up an excerpt there. Ow, God. Titled, Is Anyone Else Fucked? With several complaints below. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. My dear Buttercup, my dear Buttercup, it's not the what, but the why. The provider's not to blame. Okay, so the internet's not working. I think that's the catalyst here. There's no explanation for why this cluster of people in this 2-block radius don't have working internet, except for a mysterious, unusual concentration of high-frequency technology of nearby, suggesting of evidence of an evil secret laboratory. Bubbles gasped with excitement. The reach of this outage suggested some pretty heavy-duty tech, so I didn't want to get in too close. Undermanned, or should I say, undergirled. I'm gonna put a bullet in my fucking skull. Undergirled. Hello, Sunny is everywhere. Welcome. We're reading the pilot script to the Powerpuff Girls reboot. You shouldn't. So, what do you want us to see? You want us to see if there's an evil lab based on a thread from next door about spotty internet? Uh-huh. And you're sure this evidence isn't something you staged in order to drum up a comeback for us? Honey, you think I would lie to you? Yep, you lie all the time. Remember that time... Who did write this? Let's see what... Like, I went over who wrote it in the beginning. Hang on. We're on page 22. It was written by Diablo Cody and Heather Rayner. So let's see. Oh, wow. A woman wrote this? Two women wrote this. That's even worse. What the fuck? Yeah, Diablo Cody. What the fuck? No, this is a real fucking script. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Okay, remember when you let that colossal gopher out during sweeps? We were in a ratings hole, and we ended up in a literal hole created by a giant gopher who tried to kill us with a tree trunk. Now that was good TV. Okay, well, I'm gonna pass. Same. Drake pouts. Bubbles stands up and turns to her sisters. Guys, how can you turn down an evil recon mission, especially when we've said Mish would make a perfect storyline and for my documentary? Bubbles is back. Not to be confused with your other film, Bubbles on Her Back. You guys, I do this stuff for entertainment value, but sometimes it makes my quality of life worse. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, I'm holding plushies and acting out the worst script I've ever seen in my fucking life. Oh, God. Okay, anyway. Come on, it'll be fun. Besides, we haven't hung out in like a decade. I really miss us. Please. Buttercup is warmed by this sentiment but plays it cool. We do have a day to kill before we get our monies. And maybe there'll be something for me to beat up? Totally, Blossom. Evil recon mish. It's short for mission, guys. The sisters look to Blossom. She looks away, ashamed. I think I'm just gonna take a nap. Buttercup rolled her eyes and Bubbles took a deep breath. Grew up in a small town. Forget it, Bubs. Let her have her boring phone sex with her pasty boyfriend. Girls, don't fight. Oh, jeez. They keep shortening everything because that's how the hip youth talk, apparently. Okay, girls, don't fight. How about Buttercup goes with Bubbles and Blossom stays with me? We haven't had any QT since you got home. Blossom shuts her eyes and takes a deep breath. When she opens them, she sees young Blossom examining chemicals in the background. Young Blossom, you two can split a Go-Gurt while he talks about himself the whole time, and you can feel even more unseen. Blossom eyes the Go-Gurt stain on Drake's shirt. Cut to interior Blossom's rental car day. Blossom drives Buttercup's. No, they'll probably mention something like Facebook because their sense of like humor is like 5 or 10 years behind the cultural trends. So Blossom drives, Buttercup's in the front, and Bubbles is in the back with Ace, examining Drake's stats on an iPad while Ace films. Okay, so this Potech Evil Lab Dad found is somewhere between Donut Thing and Volcano. Okay, that's interesting. No, it's not. No one cares. Bubbles explaining to the camera, the Cano's owned by the Rowdy Rough Boys, 3 brothers who were a failed spin-off version of us. Except that they had superpowers, and they had no superpowers, and they all got Lou Pearlman. If the Rowdy Rough Boys have turned evil in the hopes of rebooting, their franchise will stop them, and maybe Townsville will want us back. Blossom exhales deeply. Buttercup turns towards Bubbles. Bubba, let me tell you something. Okay, so now it's Bubba, not Bubs. Bubba, let me tell you something. When we were outlawed in Townsville for accidentally killing a madman and then unceremoniously ditched by Blossom, I was pissed. Blossom shifts in her seat. Guilty and annoyed at the dig. But it forced me to reevaluate my life, and I realized how exhausted I was defending myself against misogynist morons pretending I was straight for the cameras. Oh, here we go. Pretending I was straight for the cameras. It was fun when it was about fighting baddies, but it changed. Blossom, mostly to herself. Yeah, it did. Bubbles not really listening. Do you guys think JoJo would do an interview for my doc? You know, I don't think he would because of the whole we killed his dad thing. Bloss, maybe you can ask for me? I bet he's still obsessed with you. He was never obsessed with me. Yeah, he was, and I bet he still is, but in a kinky, angry way. Ooh, that's a good space. Interior Volcano Day. An Americana dive bar, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup and Ace enter to find the volcano popping. A picture of the Rowdy Rough Boys, Brick, Boomer, and Butch hangs on the wall. Buttercup. Butch! Butch, now a super hot bartender, gives Buttercup and Blossom big hugs. Butch gets to Bubbles and frowns, standoffish. Where's my hug? Butch, last time I saw you, you broke off our engagement and told me you pawned the ring for drugs. Was that you? Buttercup elbows her. Have a drink with us? We're never here and we'll never be here again. Butch smiles, relents. Okay, 1 shot. Oh, duels for me, please. Thank you. Butch leaves to grab them the drinks. Buttercup makes eyes with the hot girl across the bar, Macy. Aren't we here to investigate? I'm here to pick up bi-curious townies, and you're here to avoid Drake. Bubbles is here to investigate, but she forgot Butch hates her. Luckily, we're dealing with another hate boner, so alcohol helps. Yeah, well, you know, that's how you make it edgy. Like, wouldn't it be edgy if Blossom, the cutest, sweetest one, was a drug addict who made sex tapes? Exactly. I do this so I don't have to suffer alone. Why do you know so much about hate boners? Life is one big hate boner. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? That's another line that went viral, and I'm just like, what? Life is one big hate boner? Like, that doesn't even... What does that mean? I Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles throw back their shots. Boop. Remember my 15th birthday at that weird honky tonk? My 15th birthday. You guys all have the same birthday. You're triplets. And we literally just confirmed that you all have the same birthday. Bubbles peed herself and you threw Carrot Top out of a window, and Sarah picked us up at 3 a.m. Never told Dad. I can't believe they used to have sex. Can you imagine Drake? I bet he's so mechanical. And weirdly precise. I bet he's generous. You know how you have a discussion with your sisters about how your dad has sex? I would sooner die. Blossom and Buttercup throw napkins and trash at Bubbles. No! Filth! Not okay! All the sisters crack up. You just walked into a live read of the pilot script for the Powerpuff Girls Live Action reboot that never got made and probably never will. By the bar, the three sisters kick back another round of shots. Bubbles flirts with Bush, who has softened considerably. Bubbles nods to a door marked "Do Not Enter." What's in there? It's top secret. Like an evil laboratory? Butch laughs it off. Bubbles eyes the room, dying to get in. Other end of the bar, Blossom waits for a drink, watching a Bitmoji from Clive. Sorry, so weirdly incestuous. Clive Bitmoji. Call me, love you. Blossom smiles, puts her phone away, and then notices a young Blossom on the bar stool next to her, sucking down a Go-Gurt. Whoa, you're not immediately calling him back? Is that because, dare I say, you're having fun? Blossom takes in her surroundings, her sisters. She is having fun. As Blossom savors the moment, Carruthers, off screen. Can I buy you a drink? Young Blossom disappears, and Blossom turns to find Henrietta's neighbor, Carruthers. Blossom smiles and tries to leave, but Carruthers steps in front of her and gets in her face. I said, can I buy you a drink? Blossom notices Carruthers. Buttercup notices Carruthers. Buttercup notices Carruthers stepping towards Blossom, as Blossom clocks the faint yellow glint in his eyes. What are you doing here? Carruthers turns to Buttercup, then looks at Blossom. Aren't you those Powerpuff Girls? Powderpuff Girls. Powerpuff. No D. Like you. God. Carruthers grabs Buttercup's arm. Blossom's eyes go wide. Oh no! On Bubbles, making out with Butch against the wall, trying to inch her way closer to the Do Not Enter room. Just as Carruthers sails across the room, bursting through the Do Not Enter door, Bubbles peeks her head inside. It's a supplies closet filled with storage and pesticides. Exterior, the volcano, night. Buttercup and Blossom and Ace walk out. Butch physically carries out a flailing Bubbles. Stop! I'm an American treasure! Butch leaves. Bubbles hisses at him, turns to Buttercup. Dude, not cool. What? He was a creep. And Blossy was full deer in the headlights. Blossy. They keep trying like different abbreviations of their names. His eyes had a weird glint. I was trying to suss it out. What is there to suss out? A botched cataract surgery? Why do you keep coming at me? I get it. I screwed up. No, Bubbles screwed up. Like, constantly. You left. I'm sorry, okay? What more do you want from me? This argument is coming out of nowhere. I want the old Blossom. Blossy. I want the old Blossom. Buttercup becomes emotional. Bubbles nods to Ace to film. You used to boss us around and have a perspective and care. You were our leader, and now you're this weak, closed-off, mopey loser? You know what I think? I think I'm the only one that actually grew up. Neither of you can handle it, because you're still beating people up in bars like you did when we were 15, and Bubbles is still wearing knee-high socks on Hollywood Boulevard. Notices Bubbles is filming. Bubbles, stop filming! Buttercup charges Bubbles and Ace to try to get them to shut off the camera. Bubbles steps up to her, protecting the camera. Stop whoring out our lives! You guys bungled an investigation. Your dysfunction is all I have. As Bubbles and Buttercup Circle each other. Blossom notices a Razor scooter charging station across the street. Blossom grabs the iPad from the car and checks Drake's numbers. Hey guys. Bubbles' eyes go frosty as she drops into her ice breath mode. Ice me and you're going in the dumpster. Guys! They look at her. I think this unusual concentration of high-frequency technology Drake was talking about. Bubbles points to the Razor scooters. Buttercup laughs. Oh my god. See, Bubs? He's just a sad, lonely quack. Let's go. Buttercup headed to the car. Bubbles sighs, looks to Ace. Let's get some B-roll, I guess. Bubbles looks over Ace's shoulder as he films the charging station at the base of the airport complex. 3 floors up, we see a figure watching Bubbles and Ace from the window. Interior Henrietta's layered night. Reveal Henrietta watching them leave. Her evil lair is directly above the charging station and is the source of the energy that Drake identified. Henrietta turns back inside, surprised to find JoJo sitting in an armchair. Do you break into the homes of all the little girls you hired to do your evil bidding? JoJo notices a woolly bear on his arm, flicks it off. Just the ones who murdered their parents. Less red tape. How's progress? You know, ups and downs. JoJo eyes Henrietta, less than thrilled with her response. The Powerpuff Girls collect their trust fund in 12 hours. That's how long you have to put 3 of these little bugs in their brains so I can control their minds and make them throw a school bus of kids into a river. And save the day, cementing your re-election. I know the playbook, Juge. Juge? Juge? And I know... I love it, aside from the saving the kids part. But I just sent my boy Carruthers on a mission and it was no bueno. Revealing Carruthers on Henrietta's couch, looking beat up. Henrietta like scolding a dog. The mission was to try to get a bug in Blossom's ear, but instead we started a fight with Buttercup, didn't we? Didn't we? I need to do more testing. You have 12 hours or I make you eat every single one of these bugs, turn you into the FBI, and you become the youngest person to ever get executed in America. Got it? Jesus Christ. Henrietta's speechless, but clearly gets the message. JoJo heads for the door, tripping on a pair of shoes. He fears he looks stupid. He does. So he calls out angrily behind. 12 hours! Into Act 2. Okay, interior, Powerpuff Girls home, Drake's lab day. Bubbles films Drake as they dig deeper into Drake's theory. I don't see how I could be wrong. The evidence doesn't lie. Blossom enters, quietly helping herself to a coffee. No, but sometimes people do. Why would I lie about something like this? Wait, where's my, Why would I lie about something like this? Because you want us to reunite, Dad, and you know that appealing to my sense of responsibility with this town is in danger thing is the only way to get me on board. Oh, speaking of dangerous, this crazy dude came for Blossom Buttercup at the volcano. He had Scorpio energy. Chaotic. We got it on tape. Want to see? We hear a loud bump upstairs. Blossom jumps, concerned. What was that? As Bubbles pulls up the footage, Blossom silently exits. But Drake watches her leave, then turns to Bubbles. What did I do to drive her away? Just now, or in a macro sense? Bubbles, not a day goes by that I don't regret my greatest failure. Japan is a tough market to crack. I'm not talking about the brand. I mean the family. I never thought we'd fracture. Look, we loved being the Powerpuff Girls, but sometimes we wanted to be other things too. You know how in Dirty Dancing, Baby is like this big nerd who wants to join the Peace Corps, and then she meets Johnny and becomes a fancy slut, but her dad is like disappointed in her because he thinks she's not a nerd anymore. But the thing is, she's still a nerd. It's just that she's a nerd and a fancy slut, and it's too non-binary for Jerry Orbach to grasp. They really do think it's like shorthand for like showing a close relationship. Drake ponders the metaphor with a look of remorse. Also, is that supposed to be like some kind of non-binary reference? What do they think they're doing? What do they think they're doing with this script? Yeah, it's been pretty dull for a pilot. Like, nothing significant has happened here. Interior, Powerpuff Girls home, hallway, Buttercup's room, day. Blossom heads upstairs when the bumping sound comes from Buttercup's room, then abruptly stops. Blossom opens the door and finds Buttercup in bed with Macy, the woman she stayed at the bar with the night before. They just finished. Pump, pump, pump. Oh my god, I'm sorry. It's fine. We're done, right? I'd say 6 times is enough. Bubbles and Drake enter on Blossom's heels. Guys, no! It's fine. I'm not remotely ashamed. I'm just getting my life, people. What the fuck? And tonight, I finally get access to my trust, and I never have to come back to Clownsville ever again. What about me? You should come with me. 3-acre farm and chickens. U-Haul. U-Haul lesbians. Woo. Why are you guys acting like being here is torture? I didn't raise you like this. Exactly. You raised us to be a franchise, not a family. We don't know how to be together without a shot list and suggested dialogue. But remember how much fun we had when the cameras were off? When were they off? Sees Ace filming from the hallway. Blossom rolls her eyes. When you're a kid, the stakes are supposed to be low. A kid shouldn't be worried about losing their lunch money or being picked last in PE. A kid shouldn't be worried about cat burglars or giant lizards or accidentally farting on TRL. Carson handled that well. There's always something scary around the corner, and it wasn't normal, and we never had space to process it. You said you created us because you always wanted to be a dad, so why not just make 3 little girls? Well, that would be kind of weird. Blossom shakes her head, frustrated with Drake's response. Macy exiting. Well, I'm late to acro yoga. It's kind of like flying. Oh, that's fun. Call me. I'm out of here too. Right. You spent a total of 10 minutes with us and you're already a ghost? Where are you going? It is so misguided. I need to talk to a human being who understands emotions. I am a known Homo sapien. What? Exterior, Cerebellum's house, day. A charming bungalow. Blossom rings the doorbell. Cerebellum, now an attractive redhead in her 40s, answers the door. Sarah, delighted. Blossie! I didn't think you would actually come. Stop saying Blossie. Hey, Sarah. Blossom meets Sarah for a hug. You still wear the same perfume. Weird thing to say. Blossom and Sarah in unison. Britney Spears, circus fantasy. Interior, Cerebellum's house. Blossom and Sarah sit in the cozy den, drink tea, and catch up. Sarah's demeanor is warm. She is an earthy big sister type. You know, I was hoping to see all of you. Where are my other bees? Just busy? No, I really needed to talk to someone one-on-one. When we're together, it's like we're suddenly kids again, and it gets emotional. Yeah, I get it. You girls had a gnarly childhood. I used to fight with your dad about how much he expected of you. Yeah, you always stood up for us. That's why I replied to your text and not his. Drake really does care deeply about you guys. Yeah, I don't know about that. He has not demonstrated that even once. He just didn't want you to hide your light. He thought pushing you was a form of love. Well, it didn't feel like it, and we were punished for his dream. Have you noticed that my dad just got to continue living here in peace as a beloved eccentric after we were drummed out of town? He lives here, but not in peace. I think he's had a lot of regrets about how things went down. He's not a bad guy, Bloss. He can be enraging and oblivious. Trust me, I dated the man for 5 years. But he has a good heart. It kind of sounds like you still love him. Sarah blushed and scoffs at the idea as the tea kettle goes off. Sarah gets up to turn it off as Blossom starts looking at her phone. Thinks, then starts typing a text. What? Interior, Powerpuff Girls home, kitchen, day. Bubbles and Drake sit at the kitchen table reviewing the footage. They both wear sheet masks and are both flustered. Okay, so maybe everyone's internet works, but they're all hallucinating that it doesn't because of something in the water, or like aliens. On the footage, Bubbles spots Henrietta at the window. Bubbles continued. That's the same little girl we met at the front of the house. Coincidence? Maybe we should look into her. She's like 10. So were you. Back when many a villain made the mistake of underestimating my girls. Drake's phone buzzes in a text. It's from Blossom. Very surprised, Drake opens it, then smiles. Your sister texted me. She says if we're still investigating, to look out for the bar flies' yellow eyes. Look at that! Progress! Drake smiles, so touched by Blossom's gesture. Maybe we can all come back from this after all. You know, once I get my money today, we can use part of my cut to go deeper with our investigation. The city needs the Powerpuff Girls, and post-rehab, wait, I lost my place. And post-rehab, I've always wanted to go solo. Timberlake solo. Drake looks guilty at the mention of money. Right. I have to rinse. Gotta look fresh for the trust fund meeting. Bubbles skips out. Drake keeps looking at the Henrietta footage. Her face is stormy, mysterious, possibly evil. Interior, Henrietta's lair, day. Henrietta, surrounded by the empties of monster energy, builds more woolly bears. Jojo burst in, impatient. Psh! Time's up, Henny! They're not ready! I don't care. Show me what you got. The main event. Henrietta pulls out a box and opens a lid, revealing 3 special woolly bears, 1 blue, 1 pink, 1 green. These are designed specifically to target them and inept their minds. Blue for yeah, I got it. He snatches the buds from Henrietta, opens the window, and lets the woolly bears crawl out. Interior, Powerpuff Girls home, Bubbles' bathroom, day. An upbeat Bubbles gets ready. Makeup and accessories are scattered all over the vanity. Blue woolly bear appears at her windowsill. She pulls on a blue beanie that covers her ears and has holes for her pigtails to emerge. This is cute. Ski bunny mood. The woolly bear looks perplexed. In exterior, Powerpuff Girls home, driveway, same. Powerpuff Girls, Blossom approaches the home. She notices a pink woolly bear crawling up her arm. She frowns, picks it off, and places it on a leaf. The woolly bear falls off the leaf and into a puddle where it short circuits. Interior, Powerpuff Girls home, kitchen, same. Buttercup is about to take a sip of black coffee when she sees the green woolly bear coiled in the cup. She yelps, flicks it down the drain, and turns on the garbage disposal. Interior, Powerpuff Girls home, living room, day. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup sit on the couch across from an attorney, Larry, and Drake stands anxiously in the corner. Larry is a typical cheap TV lawyer type. He organizes papers from his briefcase. Ace films. Everyone sits in silence. Haven't I seen you on a bus bench? I suppose we're both famous. Looking through the papers. So, are we going to, we're going about 5 apiece. Right, Drake? Drake watches the girls. Bubbles pulls her beanie up from her ears, hoping she heard correctly, and we see the blue woolly bear crawling along the couch, headed for her ear canal. 5 million? No way. 500,000? I mean, it feels low, but 5,000, Larry said. Come again? I'm sorry, what? Look, this isn't easy for me to say. I saw how hard you girls worked and how brave you all were in those battles, and I wanted to maximize your earnings, so I made some investments. Oh boy. What did you invest in, Dad? Well, some real estate in 2008, and then fidget spinners, and have you guys heard of Cronuts? The money's gone, and you knew about it? Why did you make us come out here? Because I miss you, and I love you. So the evil lab thing was a lie. No, I truly believe disaster is imminent. You are mentally ill. This is why I don't call or visit. She picks up a vase. Drake instinctively ducks and covers. I'm sorry, Buttercup. Jesus Christ. Buttercup hauls off with the vase as if to throw it when a chair crashes through the window, revealing Bubbles, Hulk-level furious, is the one who threw the chair. What about me? She angrily gesticulates and unwittingly flings off the woolly bear. Larry drops the briefcase and runs. The woolly bear heads for Bubbles again, crawling up her leg. Bubbles continues, I'm the only one who ever put the family and the team first, no matter what. Powerpuff forever, right? I believed in you and I defended you. I guess I'm the idiot you always thought I was. We don't think that. I'm out of here. It's relapse time. Drake tries to stop Bubbles as she heads to the jagged hole where the window used to be. Drake puts a hand on her arm. Sweetie! And then the woolly bear crawls from Bubbles onto Drake and into his ear. Bubbles flies out of the window, a blue streak in the sky. Pew! Buttercup glares at Drake and flies after her. You were supposed to protect us, and you never did. Not now, not ever. And because of that, I killed Mojo, and it ruined my life. Wasn't it bad enough that you stole our past from us? We don't even have futures. Do you even care? Drake is silent. He has a strange yellow glint in his eye, and it isn't that he isn't there anymore, but Blossom doesn't notice it. Cool. I get it. I never want to see you again. She exits as we end Act 3. How many acts are in this? Is this one episode? Like, what the fuck? I don't think I've ever seen an episode of a show with like 4 acts. Interior, jail, day. A close-up of a man's mouth. Bubbles Utonium? On Bubbles, in a holding cell, she opens her bloodshot eyes, plastered with sleep, and she sits up looking rough. Reveal Ace beside the officer outside the cell. He gives Bubbles a brief, compassionate wave. Bubbles stumbles towards him as they walk down the hallway. Bubbles vomits. Ace pats her back. I've got a great shot of you freeing all those snakes from the zoo. They were legless lizards, Ace. She spits out the last bit. Not that it matters. Ew. It's a 60-page script, which is incredible to me. Blossom finishes her coffee. Interior Powerpuff Girls house kitchen day. Blossom finishes her coffee and sets the cup by the sink. Stays in the kitchen to reveal a mangled green woolly bear, the one that Buttercup disposed earlier, crawling out of the sink. Powerpuff Girls house entryway day. We are currently on page 42 of 60. Blossom tiptoes to Buttercup's side of the bed. Macy's asleep. Buttercup's Googling backpack trips on her phone. Did you hear the phone ring? Yeah, I think it was the house line. How far do you think $5,000 can get me? Buttercup continued, speaking up as she types, direct flights to Peru. I don't know. I know it's stupid, but I can't stop thinking about that creepy guy at the bar. Those yellow eyes. He probably has a liver disease. Then, reading Blossom. Look, this spidey sense that you think you're having right now, it's the part of you that would like to believe that there's evil in town, because that means that maybe Dad's not a pathological liar. But you know, Occam's razor. Bubbles enters with sunglasses. Buttercup covers her nose as a green woolly bear crawls along Buttercup's wall towards her bed. Bubbles, acknowledging, yeah, I stink. Thank you for your compassion. I'm going back to LA now. I'll FaceTime you at Christmas if I'm still alive. Clothes on, the woolly bear crawling into an ear canal. Oh no, did it finally get to Buttercup? Pull back to reveal Macy springing out of bed, possessed. She grabs the bedside table lamp and smashes it on Buttercup's head, then turns towards Blossom, flashing her yellow eyes. Oh my god, yellow eyes! Macy throws down the bookcase. Bubbles attacks her, but Macy manages to duck and throw Bubbles back into the wall. Bubbles tries to shake off the blow as Macy lifts up the bedside table, about to smash it over Bubbles' head, when Buttercup kicks Macy's legs out from under her. Macy falls, hitting her head on the desk chair and causing the green woolly bear to fly out of her ear. Macy groans. The girls stare at the green woolly bear in awe. I love when characters with literal superpowers are oblivious to supernatural things going on around them. Well, hey, you need a story. The girls examine the woolly bear under a microscope. Blossom dissects it, revealing wiring and a square metal chip. Whoa, it's a robot? Magic. It's an AI chipset. The furry hairs on the outside are actually nanofibers intended to latch onto something. I'm guessing a brain. How do you know all that? Well, I have a PhD in biotech. They clearly didn't know. Really? You guys didn't know that? Psh, of course I knew that. Biotech. Duh, nerd alert. Anyway, I think that someone engineered these things for mind control. The guy at the bar, Macy. That's why their eyes had a weird yellow glint. They were possessed. Then realizing, Dad was right. Evil is back in Townsville. Bubbles is stunned. Buttercup is still a little skeptical. And someone put this thing in Macy to get her to what? Attack us? Because that's a bunk plan. I don't know. This thing looks pretty damaged. Maybe it misfired. Dad and I were working on a theory, Buttercup. Do you remember the girl we met outside the house? Our biggest fan? Buttercup realized. The one with the pet caterpillar. Yeah, that was shady. And we spotted her in my dock footage outside the cano waiting for us. Buttercup really hitting her. I can't believe this. I really thought Drake made it all up. Like that mom who poisoned her kid for Disney tickets. So crazy. Like, think bigger. Suddenly, all three girls get Google alerts on their phone. You guys seeing this? What the? Blossom turns on the TV. Breaking news, banner reads, Townsville erupts in riots, chaos. A newscaster reports, the riot started moments ago, the cause of which are still unknown. The girls are in shock when they watch news footage of the citizens destroying Townsville. Match that footage to interior, mayor's office, continuous. The TV is on. Jojo looks in the mirror, deciding between two ties, red or blue. Henrietta, surrounded by her woolly bear creations, opens the window. Just so I'm clear, now we're gonna lose your woolly bears. We're gonna loose your woolly bears onto Townsville, let them crawl into people's brains, and turn their aggro meter up to 10. Exactly. We need a new plan after your idiot worms incepted the wrong Utonium. Then what happens? I blame the entire thing on Drake. He confesses via Woolly Bear that he's drunk with power, blah blah blah. I arrest him, save the day, and Townsville re-elects me mayor. Fun bonus, he rots in prison. And maybe I get to console Blossom. Oh, he is still obsessed with Blossom. With that, Jojo picks up the red tie. Henrietta sadly watches her Woolly Bears leave the office out the window en masse. Goodbye, Karen, Jared, Eric, Melania, Donald, Rudy Giuliani, Ted. Trump references. Oh, Jesus Christ. Interior Utonium house living room continuous. The girls keep watching the TV as the news switches to a press conference. The banner below, Townsville erupts in chaos, mind-controlling robots. Mayor Mondale speaks. Citizens, under control of these malicious robots, are being forced to act violently towards each other with no end in sight. We believe this is the work of the evil mastermind, Professor Drake Utonium. What? On TV, news footage of Drake on the rooftop screaming, Burn Townsville! All... Wait, hold it. Burn Townsville! All must pay! If you're looking for it, you can see his yellow eyes. Someone's setting him up. He needs us now. Off Blossom, overwhelmed and terrified by this call of duty. Act 5. This is a lot of acts for a pilot episode. Exterior, Townsville streets, various day. The Powerpuff Girls drive towards the white Puffmobile Sprinter van. Buttercup drives, Blossom is in front, Bubbles is in the back, and they pull up to the city center. I can't believe we didn't fly. I'm sorry, you know I can't get on a plane without a Xanax. No, but you can literally fly. Buttercup can't handle this. Let's sidebar this. What the fuck? Yeah, they did waste 2 acts on complete nonsense. They get out of the car. We see anarchy in the streets. Cars on fire. Fights breaking out. They're all possessed. This is like the gathering of the Juggalos. You've been? Bubbles haughty. I was paid to appear. Well, we need to get to Dad. The girls keep taking it. Like, I guess the villain is Jojo. And he makes the Woolly Bears take over. I don't know. The girls keep taking it in. People are fighting, shouting, and destroying property. Fire hydrants have been opened. There's water all over the streets. Nearby, Henrietta, unnoticed by the Powerpuff Girls, strolls through the insanity she's helped create. She spots the girls and picks up her phone, ducking into an alley. Interior alley day. Henrietta picks up into the phone. Okay, they're here. You might want to make that arrest. Cross out phone call. Interior mayor's office day. Jojo is on his phone, exhilarated. All 3 of them, even Blossom, Henrietta, bored. Yep, you'll get to see them kick and scream as their dad gets hauled off to jail, just like you put on your vision board, which you should never show anyone. By the way, the gold Lambo is cringe. Jojo smiles, taking in this moment when his pet monkey screeches. Jojo frowns, his mood darkening. No, it's not good enough. I can't squander this opportunity. What do you want me to do, Jojo? I want to show them how it feels to watch their father die. New plan. Oh my god. Townsville City Center. The Powerpuff Girls head for Drake. On their way there, they cannot help but notice mayhem. Bubbles stops. Guys, wait, what about all these people? They need us. Blossom looks around, conflicted. Buttercup keeps moving, and then she sees Blossom and Bubbles haven't moved. Come on, saving Dad's life I get, but playing superhero again? Buttercup gestures to the frightened ruin around them. These are the same normos who kicked us out a decade ago. Why would we help them? Blossom sighs, conflicted. Bubbles sees her wavering. Blossom, you were the one who said we should always help people no matter what, remember? You had the biggest, bravest heart of all three of us, and that's why you were the leader. I was the leader because Dad said so. That's not true. You were designed to be in charge, but your annoying type A ass claimed the role, and you owned it. Guys, I know everyone here has rejected us for semi-misogynistic reasons, but Townsville, they rejected you for, like, blowing up the town reasons, but okay. But Townsville is our home, and it's getting destroyed. We have to save it, and Dad. This is our chance to show them that they were wrong about us. Buttercup looks around, taking it in. Look, I hate this town. I'm 50-50 on Drake, but I've got a hard-on for mayhem that won't go down. Oh my god! Oh! Nobody talks like this! I've got a hard-on for mayhem and it won't go down. Oh my god. Bubble smiles, looks at Blossom. She's shaking. No, I've done too much work in therapy to go there. I'm a grown woman now. I have degrees and a boyfriend and furniture from West Elm. I am not a Powerpuff Girl. Blossom starts to have a panic attack, then runs off. Blossom, they didn't all caps panic attack this time. Bubbles is about to take off after Blossom. Buttercup stops her. We have to move on. But Bloss, we have to do it for her, okay? This is what she wants even if she can't say it. She was always our conscience. And I was just the attention whore. Hey, you were amazing. Bubbles nods, touched. They take off in the other direction. The exterior Townsville sky overhead. Moments later, possessed Drake is still standing on the rooftop. Bubbles and Buttercup observe from a safe distance. Okay, so when Macy hit her head, it drove the woolly bear out of her. We need to do something like that, but on a mass scale, without, like, killing people. Right. Blossom looks around. Her eyes land on a spa with advertisement for laser hair removal. Her eyes light up. Electrolysis, Bubbles continued. Buttercup, frustrated. I don't know. I know you don't get the all-natural thing, but it's not the time. Bubbles flies into a telephone pole, rips the wire out of the pole, exposing its frayed end. Buttercup smiles, getting it. Oh, sick! We're gonna fry him! No, we're gonna lightly shock them, enough to drive the bugs out, but not enough to kill them. Look, they're all standing in water. Help me grab that pole. They fly over the telephone pole and begin to uproot it. Interior alley, saying. Blossom sits in a dumpster doing breathing exercises. She closes her eyes and opens them, revealing young Blossom. Hey, why are you hiding? Bubbles and Buttercup need your help. I don't know how to help. I can't do this. I just want a normal life. No one has a normal life. Everyone has a superpower, and everyone has to decide how they're going to use it. I can't be the hero they want me to be. So be the hero you want to be. Do it for you, on your terms. It's time to take a chance, make a change. Why do they keep bringing back this fucking Kelly Clarkson song? And break away. Young Blossom disappears. Suddenly, the ground trembles. I'm like losing control of my plushies. Interior Townsville City Center. Buttercup and Bubbles hold the telephone pole in the crowd. Just touch it to the water and shock will spread. They lower the pole gingerly. A jolt of electricity surges through the teeming mass standing in the flooded streets. People are knocked out. Then suddenly, look! Woolly bears are crawling and jumping out of people's ears. Bubbles and Buttercup are stoked, but then, hello, Powerpuffs! Reveal Henrietta on the roof of the building with Drake. The sisters are mid-air, holding the pole aloft. I have complete and total power over him. To Drake, right, Professor Quacktonium? Yes, we have props. Drake nods numbly. I was running through the 6 with my woes. I knew you were a fake fan. Nobody's favorite is Blossom. Look, oh God. I don't know what you want with our dad, but please, let's talk this out. Girl to girl. You're not a girl. You're a boring grown-up who used to be cool. Hang it up and start a book club. Bubbles lets go of a pole, ready to save Drake, but with the electric current, it's too much for Buttercup alone. Bubbles! Bubbles sees Buttercup needs her with help with the pole before it crashes to the ground, but the sisters are stuck. We can't drop the pole, it'll kill them all. Let's go for a walk. Drake obediently walks to the edge of the building and falls off. Bubbles and Buttercup are helpless, holding onto the pole, screaming. End Act 5. Oh, they really leave that as a cliffhanger here. Alright, Act 6. Good lord. Exterior Townsville Day. Drake plummets to the ground. Oh. Buttercup screams. Bubbles watches in terror as Drake falls. Daddy! Drake drops faster and faster, 30 feet from the ground, then 20, then 10, when Blossom cuts through the air and scoops him up. That's my bitch right there! Jesus Christ. Jojo watches from the window, furious. No, no, no! Back in the air, Blossom soaks up her hero moment. Sorry I'm late, Dad, but I had to make peace with an old... Drake slaps and screeches at Blossom. He's still possessed. Stop, stop! Ow! You are so annoying! She lands on the street with Drake. His fists are flying. She punches him in the face. A woolly bear flies out of his ear. But Blossom stomps it as he moans on the ground. That was surprisingly cathartic. Bubbles is stomping out all the woolly bears on the street when the Blossom lands beside her, and Bubbles gives her a huge hug. Blossie! You saved the day! My babies! My poor babies! Blossom and Bubbles turn to find Henrietta crouched in a puddle, mourning her woolly bears. Bubbles tauntingly stomps one out in front of her. Oops! Henrietta smiles menacingly, slowly standing up. Woolly bears, mount up! The busted woolly bears begin to rise up and crawl towards Henrietta. God! Jesus Christ. As she, God damn! Sorry. I got these weird hiccups. Alright. The busted woolly bears begin to rise and crawl towards Henrietta as she cackles maniacally, when suddenly Henrietta is electrocuted and flies into a building hard, revealed Buttercup with a live wire behind her. Bud, way too much. The sisters hover around Henrietta's lifeless body. Oh no, did we just kill a kid? I mean, you killed her. Sometimes you have to kill the child within in order to... No, this is really bad. Then Henrietta starts coughing and Buttercup's eyes light up. Not dead! Buttercup and Bubbles high five. Then we hear cheering. They turn to discover a massive crowd cheering for them. The sisters soak it up, feeling like real heroes again. Exterior, Drake's house, day, newscaster. A sweeping reversal of fate, the Powerpuff Girls are beloved again in Townsville. A super bloom surrounds the Utonium home. Townsville residents swing by leaving gifts. A huge sign is hung across the front lawn. Thank you, Powerpuff Girls. Interior, Drake's house, Blossom's bedroom, day on the TV. The town is pleading for the girls to return permanently, but the sisters have yet to comment. Pan for the town to Blossom standing by the window. She admires signs outside and listens and watches a Bitmoji. Look, I get it. It's a cool opportunity. I just love our life together. I don't want to ask you to turn it down, but I hope you do. Ugh, sorry. Doing this on Bitmoji was a stupid idea. Love you. Blossom sighs, then notices something outside. Exterior Drake's house day. Blossom opens the front door as someone walks by. Jojo? Jojo turns, smiles shyly at Blossom. Hey, I was just leaving you guys a little token of appreciation. Inside, Buttercup looks out the window, watching them. Bubba, come here! Bubbles joins her at the window. What? Whoa. Intercut with... Blossom picks up Jojo's gift. It's an action figurine of her. The one we saw Jojo holding in the teaser. Wow. Where did you get this? I actually bought it behind my dad's back when I was a kid. I had to hide it under my bed. Like porn. Awkward. Over explains. Not because I did anything creepy with it. Just because he hated you. Oh my god, this is brutal. No, yeah, like, I remember, I'm so sorry, Jojo. It was an accident. Speaking of, I'm sorry about falsely accusing your dad of mass terrorism. Oh yeah, real egg on your face. Huh. A little bit, yeah. Blossom. Well, I guess we're even. Then awkward stumble. I mean, we're not even. Nowhere close. I just meant, don't worry. Is she flirting? Girl. You think you guys are gonna stay? I don't know. We had to talk it out. Well, I hope you do. Jojo starts to walk away. Jojo, why don't you hate me? Jojo smiles, shrugs. It's not for lack of trying. Night. What the fuck? Blossom watches Jojo go, oddly drawn to him. Are you fucking serious? Classic hate boner. Oh, God. We're almost done. The hiccups are gone trying to stop me from reading this. Interior, Utonium House dining room night. Sisters talk over each other at night, telling Drake the story. Their energy is magnetic and warm, just like old times. So, Dad, I come up behind her and zap her. She flies like 20 feet and splats into a wall. And then she starts freaking out, like, we totally killed a kid. All of them crack up, and Drake slaps his knee. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Good thing they caught her. You know she murdered her parents? Really? Good goss. Good goss? So, have you girls talked about whether or not you want to stay in Townsville? The girls look at each other, quiet. Blossom's about to speak when Drake cuts her off. Before you answer, I just want to say I know you are individuals with full lives and aspirations, boys and roots you've put down, and solo careers. So if picking up your old mantle doesn't feel like your life anymore, I want to honor that. The girls are shocked by his uncharacteristic clarity. You sure we got that bug out? For your information, I saw Sarah today, and she gave me some very good advice. You know she still has a crush on you, right? It's really more of a hate boner. Why do they keep trying to bring back the hate boner thing like that's a hilarious joke? Oh, good gossip. Yeah, I guess. Now you've got it, says Buttercup. We'll discuss Sarah later. For now, you girls need to decide what you want to do. Excusing himself. If you need me, I'll be in my lab. Drake leaves. A beat. Okay, moment of truth. We in or we out? They share nervous glances. Blossom is the most conflicted. Bubbles. Grew up in a small town, and when the rain would fall down, I'd just stare out my window, dreaming of what could be, and if I'd end up happy, I would pray I could break away. They both looked at Blossom. Is she in or she out? Blossom looks pained, then shakes her head. Blossom and Bubbles share a disappointed nod, a silent beat. Then, Blossom, belting it, baby. I'll spread my wings, I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. It was a fake out. What a slut. Bubbles and Buttercup are thrilled, and they all join in singing in each other's faces. Visceral, a complete return to their childhood. Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Interior Powerpuff Girls home. Drake's lab continuous. Drake hears the girls singing upstairs and smiles. He peers into a microscope, examining the defunct woolly bear robot. But he's doing more than just examining it. He's repairing it. The bot wriggles back to life and Drake smiles. He walks to the cabinet, revealing a hidden door. He opens it and walks inside Drake's secret lab. Lights flicker on as Drake places the bot in a glass cage surrounded by other mysterious experiments and specimens. As he exits the lab, he looks at a picture on his wall, a black and white photo of himself with Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup as babies. He looks at his girls, guilt-ridden. What the fuck? Interior, Utonium House night. Close in on the 2000 action figure of Blossom as the girls continue to scream, sing, and dance in the background. Match 2, interior, Mayor's office night. A camera feed that JoJo continues watching the action figure has a secret camera inside. Oh, of course. A scowl on his face, his pet monkey watches the feed beside him, eating a banana. I'll find another way to win re-election. We took them out once, we can do it again. Right, Dad? The monkey jumps up and down, screeching with fervor as we cut to black. The monkey is his dad? The end. Round of applause. Took us nearly 2 hours to get through this. Starring the Stormtrooper plushie as Buttercup, the Chewbacca plushie as Bubbles, the Princess Bubblegum plushie as Blossom, the Jon Snow figure as Professor Utonium, the Barbie as Sarah Bellum, and also sometimes Henrietta and a couple other side characters. The Wonder Woman as JoJo, and Kylo Ren bobblehead as Mojo. Thank you, thank you. What a masterpiece. Man, I can't believe that got caught in production hell and didn't get completed. I can't believe they didn't finish that masterpiece of screenwriting. Wow, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, this is the cast that they were originally had. Dove Cameron as Bubbles, Robin Lively as Sarah Bellum, Tom Kenny. Oh, they got Tom Kenny back as the narrator. Donald Faison as Professor Drake Utonium. Is he the... Wait. Is this the guy that's in Scrubs? Yeah, it's the guy from Scrubs. That's interesting. Nicholas Paudani as Jojo. Annie Jules as Gina. Carl Anthony Nespoli as Cop. Yanni Peralt as Buttercup. Cicely Ferguson as Young Bubbles, Marcia Adams as Pedestrian, Serge Shirley as Pedestrian. Who even plays Blossom? I don't even see Blossom on here. That's incredible. Okay, I am going to switch gears and hop off for a second, so because I have to switch off of YouTube for this next part. We can watch some more of those bad morality plays. So I'll see y'all in about 10 minutes.